Alright, folks. It's the Gibbie here. Coming back with more Katawa Shoujo. This should be fun. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around here remind me that, indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating, until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water, without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets, and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't normal, but I'm sure others are. Or, perhaps, people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the question remains on my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfectly even and flat.
Sorry, Shik-chan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hik-chan. My first thought is that it means she doesn't know, which is worrying.
Oh, my first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway. Misha, please don't prove me right.
Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there really isn't anything else to do. There's also school events like festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you're actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too.
Sure.
What's the festival about?
Misha freezes.
Well, I don't know, Hik-chan. The truth is, it's a local event, but I'm not from this area, so...
She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish, and starts signing hard and heavy.
Huh? Oh. Who cares?
Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out with me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning to look in our direction.
Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideas and beliefs behind the festival will inevitably change with time. Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes.
The teacher clears his throat very loudly. batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without a care.
We are in the middle of class, and we should start working. That's right, Sheik-chan. What? That's right. Sheik-chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club?
It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchanged between them. Misha's tone has also changed, although it does that with every other word anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with the long dark hair get up from her desk and slowly slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working with any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything?
Sheik-chan, is something wrong?
Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me looking after the girl who left?
No, nothing. Okay, well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you?
I thought I'd go to the library and pick up some books.
Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then?
Sure.
Yay! Okay, Sheik-chan. Perfect.
The rest of the class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all the work on time. I'm just glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything.
Yes, it is, Sheik-chan.
Impossible.
Really? Really?
I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing out not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me. But it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing, and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me, as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I've never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze.
Are you sure, Sheik-chan?
Very sure.
You're wrong, Sheik-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them.
Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings. And she quickly gets up and packs her bag, looking at me expectantly. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them.
Where do you want to eat?
The cafeteria?
That's so plain. Okay, let's go.
Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I liked to eat outside, near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to apply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in a classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my fat classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier.
So, Hik-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right? Right, Shik-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first.
Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech.
Hik-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in?
I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that.
As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shik-chan? Right, but, it seems they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hik-chan. It's a really popular club. Okay, but more to the point, Hik-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind?
Not really.
Good, great. That's great, Hik-chan. Really great.
Why is it so great?
No reason. Well, Hik-chan, other than clubs and upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council.
I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this, because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it, and Misha's laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion, in a manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says.
Right. Hik-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join.
Why?
Well, for one, we could hang out every day, Hik-chan. Shik-chan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Shik-chan is the president.
I'm starting to get the suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk with about this. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha.
Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we would have an obvious benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try to get you to...
So you're admitting that...
No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hik-chan, of course. It would be nice if you joined, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true, Hik-chan. And besides, you don't want to spend time with us after school. Don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hik-chan?
I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with.
Well... So it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hik-chan.
Wait, what? What? No.
Aww. See, Shik-chan, of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right. Though, it would be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Shik-chan owes me candy now.
You were betting on it? Hey, my life's not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eye.
That's interesting, Hik-chan. Let's play a game.
That's not what I said.
How about rich man, poor man, Hik-chan? If you lose, you have to join the student council.
No, absolutely not.
Aww, why not?
Well, because you two both have the same incentive, therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right?
Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal.
But what this means is that both of you can team up, and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'm gonna have to decline.
Hik-chan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us, and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad.
Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin.
In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council.
No!
How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man?
Paper football?
Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You make a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past the goalpost that the other player makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hik-chan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shik-chan. That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men.
More like the boys from the slightly older boys.
Anyway, I'm not gonna play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hik-chan?
Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I am a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Okay, Hik-chan, how about Risk? The game of world domination.
I don't know what that is.
It's really fun, Hik-chan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything.
Sounds like Shizune would be good at it.
If you want to play, we can after school. Aw, really, Shik-chan? We can just play for fun, Hik-chan. Shik-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached.
Well, okay.
Okay. Perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hik-chan.
Wait, why there?
Because that's where we keep the game.
I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end, I agree. But only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to look around and play the game with her. Lunch ends, and we go back to class. During the afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice. Or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I want to be nosy. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I'd been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like it... Oh no. I apologize. We are experiencing technical difficulties. I apologize for that. My throat's a bit dry. Back to the game. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to his cell.
What's wrong, Hik-chan? That's right, we're just gonna play a game of Risk, remember?
I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I'm starting to think that when I sit down to play a game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room is as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started.
What? That's it?
This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly.
That's not true, Hik-chan. Shik-chan says when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed.
Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than the classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as, well, extras perhaps. Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old-school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could have at least put a potted plant in there, or something. But the most noticeable thing is that the room doesn't have other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yep, that's right. Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hik-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off on me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from two fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Hik-chan, Shik-chan wants to know that you are taking too long to move. Shik-chan also says that she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Shik-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. I would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous? She doesn't seem to know what the word means or how it's signed. She pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Misha. Misha presses her index finger against her temples, as if physically trying to imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shik-chan. Hik-chan. Shik-chan says that you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. It's likely that she's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense setup, and I'm not going to wreck it by doing something reckless. A few turns later, I lose the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself a tentative pump of a fist in the air in celebration. You lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean Shik-chan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5 army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition, Hik-chan. Your play needs to be more daring. Ambition. I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hik-chan. You didn't take enough risks, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hik-chan. Damn. What's it to her if I played too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face.
I wonder if you'd be any good for student council.
What's this, reverse psychology?
I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you.
Thirst. Drink Pepsi.
Seriously,
Is Shizune trying to taunt me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my second day. Can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council. But I want to take a look at the other clubs before I decide.
really, Hik-chan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better?
Yeah. I'm not sure I want to know what to do.
Aww. Okay, Hik-chan, but we're not gonna give up so easily. You said maybe, so there's still a chance you'll come around. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk, and one day you could beat me. Unless we graduate before that.
That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know.
Surely you're not that horrible at board games. Maybe we can play a game of Uno then, to give you a handicap.
I might have said that just to make you feel better after all.
Aw, that's cold, Hik-chan.
I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected.
Sorry, I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it?
Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall.
It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Hik-chan. We think the library is open. It's on the second floor. Can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is?
No, it's okay, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
One flight of stairs up, and I run into problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain, like only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. Classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar, so that I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it means someone inside that I can ask for directions, no matter how embarrassing that is. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to this school can't be shaken from my mind, so much that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though is much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head ever further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek "hello" on my lips is quickly snatched. This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its fullest extent, taking in the sight of a solitary figure taking center stage in an otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me.
Hello there. May I help you?
Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's a soft, measured voice that reminds me she's a being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct.
Hi. Sorry for intruding. I was just, kinda lost.
She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand.
Care to take a seat?
unexpected, considering I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step towards another seat opposite her, the girl resting a teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness in her eyes, means that she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office.
I take it you're a new student to Hamaku.
Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her restrained bow of greeting. One of which I hasten to match, before realizing the futility of the action.
I'm Lily Satao. Pleased to meet you.
Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup.
Would you care for a drink?
Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along the shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seemed to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of offer or preparing a drink.
So,
her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance.
Which room were you looking for? It's not often the classroom is visited after school.
At the school library, Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods. A small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicated it was being stirred.
I am aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no?
That's right, in the science room with Mutao. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, teacup and saucer in hand.
He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do.
As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. I'm really more of a coffee person, but it seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd been hard to choke down.
Thanks, Satao. It's really nice.
She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face.
Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal.
She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes.
Correct. I am in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and is specifically for both blind and partially blind students.
I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it.
My. There's no need to change your speech on my account.
Sure, sorry. I guess I'm really showing my newness here.
An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions.
A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another.
Do you come here to drink tea often? It's really nice.
Thinking on it, This might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at.
I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea.
Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to almost be completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of school clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join?
The more popular ones are Track and Field Club, which uses the field near the library during lunch times. The Baseball Club, the Book Club in the room near the rear of the library. There's also numerous small ones though, such as art and music clubs.
At a time when I'm wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club?
It isn't, although it is encouraged.
Ah, good. What a relief. I've really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it, as Lily does the same. As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice the light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Huh, time's gone quickly.
Sorry?
Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting.
It's just that the sun is starting to set.
It seems to come as a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of time.
Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long.
I quickly moved to allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case.
True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays.
A quick glance at my watch confirms that I have well enough time to get there.
I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily.
She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands neatly folded on the table in front of her.
It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you where the library is?
I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Unless my navigation skills fail me, which I seem to have a habit of doing.
It's all right. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I could introduce you.
This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight retractable cane that she had slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, whereas Lily's is for navigation. Together, we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers as we slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take us long to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than using either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture and takes the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with the distinctive smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everybody's probably either in the school grounds or in the dorms.
Yuko, are you here?
She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course, Lily can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. No! The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly draws out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention.
Hi, Lily. How may I help you?
Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head.
Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. Oh, nothing. Just hit my head. See, I had dropped an eraser under my desk, and while looking for it, a pencil dropped, and then when I was looking for both, you came in and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apologies, almost frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could be in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, worse things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression. And then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a librarian perfectly. Lily, did you get my message? Message? Oh, the 2 imported books that arrived. Right. They finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but... Amidst their celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure, she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes on the spot when she does. Sorry. I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Did you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she can so quickly shift between moves is a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, the new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hisao, right? Hisao. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. For a second, she visibly attempts to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuko often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little bit about the library? Lily's innocent suggestion is met with an expression of abject terror. Please, Lily, I can't. I don't know what he could possibly be interested in. This is too much responsibility. How is it any responsibility at all, I don't get. But her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. But... So, there's a lot of books in Braille here? I attempt to save the day by asking the first thing that pops in my head. It seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems not exactly relaxed, but at least looks slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or fourth of Yamaku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense, given all the blind students that'd be here. If it's only that, how come this library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books regularly because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all of them. It's so troublesome, and they waste so much. Wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the aisles if you don't mind. It's probably for the best for all of us if she doesn't keep talking to me. Very well. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. My first impression was right. The library is surprisingly big. Ambling down the narrow aisles, I study the spines of the books in random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. In a few moments, I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. Guess I'll never be stuck for a choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. It's as if the calm mood of the room I had it with tea with Lily has snuck in here with us, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice, quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library has an odd student sitting at a desk or reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she's acting today, I had her pegged more as a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from class raises all sorts of whys in my head.
Intrigue floats slowly but surely through the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious, long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would anyone else. She's a classmate, after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts, looking scaredly up at me from underneath her fringe. It's the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second, I am shocked and divert my eyes to the book in her hands, before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself, and I remember what I walked up to her for. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. It's okay. The girl certainly doesn't look like it's okay, but I let it slide. Do you mind if I sit here? She seems to be very uncertain whether it's okay or not for me to sit, but she finally nods just a little. Okay. I take a seat and sit next to her, and she hides herself behind her book. Life of Pi. Never heard of it. So, sorry for startling you again. I'm Hisao. She looks up from her book, stalling a little before replying. I know. We are in the same class. Her speech is stilted, and so quiet it's barely audible, even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako. I'm Hanako. I resist the urge to say, that's a nice name, just to have something to say, but really it's the only thing I can think of. I feel like an idiot. Everyone here must be used to being different to each other, and here I am being all bothered and fussed about that kind of thing. Don't let me interrupt your reading. I'll just check these books if you don't mind. She nods a little and sighs a little sigh of relief. So I try to read the covers and the introductions of the books I picked, and she buries her face in her book. Uncomfortable silence consumes us. My eyes still wander to her direction, and I sneak peeks at her flowing hair and the scars it's hiding. After a while, I realize she's doing the same, and only pretending to be immersed in the life of Pi. Her gaze is not inquisitive at all. It darts around like a scared rabbit. When our gazes finally meet, the chain reaction is unstoppable. She stands up forcefully from the beanbag and takes a deep breath. I? I've gotta go do something! Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the door. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she's nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long, dark hair, kinda shy. She had, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, that's her. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her. I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try to find her. Sure. I'll just hold on to these till you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you another time. Right. See you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing. I was just looking for some books, and then she got this fit and ran off. The most offending thing I can think of was that I might have looked in her general direction a few times. Well, she's a very timid girl. You have to be very careful around her. She can be very jumpy, I think. She's not accustomed to talking with other people. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder. It's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing. Then again, Maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel funny. Like I'm supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. What? Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers at their desks really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I don't have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want to check out some books, but I left them over there because, I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you sure do read a lot, don't you? I surprised myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kind of started reading books to fill the time. Guess I couldn't do much else. I see. She doesn't say anything else, and just checks out my books for me. I guess that's what they call tact. Holding the library books with one arm, I trawl my pocket for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying or the key that I managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember somebody who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Ah! Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we have met, and you are telling the truth, or I just can't remember it. Or you're a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe that he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you! Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies! If you think that you can pass as Isao just because I'm legally blind, then you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance. But who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay right there. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay still, lest he assault me physically, although I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards, just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Is something wrong? I don't know. Just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually. Even if you discount this one. Can't get a proper touch on people around here. I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. Well, that's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's a hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. You see? That's how it is this world. There's no justice, you see? Even when I lose it, I win. Because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just stared some girl off accidentally. Literally 2. She actually ran away from me. What's my fault, really? I think. I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl? A cute one? Cute? That's a hard question. She had a nice body and beautiful hair. But the face... I guess I could go either way. She was cute. Yeah, cute, I guess.
I knew it! There's a lot of cute girls here. Strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen?
I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets?
Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark. Like a black hole. Have you noticed that the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40.
He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing.
Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad. But that's a full 20%! One would think with a school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no! What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready?
I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he really doesn't care if my mind is blown or not.
I believe that the school is a battleground, the site of feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have the superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminist. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men, and it's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, a build-up of military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific and source for political value. The perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when...
Kenji's voice trails off ominously.
And that's why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then kill you, just as they killed me. You'll end up just like me.
Ah, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out.
Hey, what the hell does that mean?
You said it, not me. That's the best I could think of.
So, you're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, fast feminist conspiracy. Stop. Okay, you lost your way back there somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow? It's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. Do you like puppets?
No puppets.
You don't like puppets? Okay, got it. Graphs are still cool though, right?
He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear I was wrong.
Something on your mind, dude?
Just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset.
You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That is my dream. You just can't steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be 2 last sane men. That would invalidate the whole last part. And that part's kind of important. There can only be one. Like in that foreign movie where there could only be one, and in the end there's only one dude left. Because that was the point.
I've never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can grab my graphs. I also have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds, as tangled as... Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late.
That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later.
He claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly, it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into the bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. This school is like some kind of bizarre, surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain. Each person is stranger than the last. Just can't seem to fit in. What irony. You would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Although I say that, It doesn't help to take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off the empty walls. Guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place is really more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I open one eye, seeing the school books and the bottle of pills arranged side by side on my desk. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Alright. So, that is Chapter 2 of Katawa Shoujo. We got to hang out with Shizune and Misha. We got to meet Lily and Yuko. I hope you don't get attached to the voices, because I will probably forget them or get them mixed up, but I'm doing my best. There's a lot of females. Why are there always so many females? Everything. It's the feminist conspiracy. Kenji's right. Coincidentally, I also love voicing Kenji. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we're gonna have that version. So, we have saved, and we will pick this up when next I feel like it. Katawa Shoujo.